Beats.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick, joined tonight by Anthony Cavino. How are we doing tonight, Anthony?
Doing well. How about you?
Listen, I'm awesome. Before we start tonight's episode, let me just start this off by saying I understand there's chaos going on in the world. On behalf of the Unhinged team, I do not support any sort of violence in any way. We're just here to talk about Yankees baseball. All right. I know there's a lot of media outlets out there. They don't want to produce content in light of everything that's going on. I take the opposite side of things. I think that, listen, as Unhinged, I think we have a duty to provide content. And everyone who joins us, I appreciate you every single night. And I think the thing is, we're all a distraction together. And if it helps people to avoid all the dangers of society to come here every night and talk with us, I think that that's our duty to provide that privilege to you guys. So, on that note, the Yankees traded for Greg Allen. Biggest move of the offseason for the Yankees. If you want to take Adam Warren out of the equation, Adam Warren, huge deal. For the 15th time, by the way. So, I think the Yankees gave up minor league pitcher James Reeves for Greg Allen. Listen, not a deal that's going to turn heads. Not a great deal here. But he is a switch hitting outfielder with speed. Listen, I think what the important significance of this Greg Allen deal is kind of where the direction the Yankees are going with the outfield. Because he is another outfielder who's going to be on the 40-man. So that leads me to believe that either one of Brett Gardner, Estevan Florial, or Mike Tauchman is not going to be back next season. So, I mean, out of those three guys, who do you think is like the odd man out? Because for me, I guess I'm saying Florial. I guess they think that he's not ready to be in the big leagues and he's going to be in the minor leagues. So maybe Greg Allen takes his spot. I don't know. What do you think?
I was reading. I mean, we heard about the talk and that he was brought up in trade talks. Cashman said there were teams calling. We don't know who those teams are. Cashman just said there were teams calling. Could that be true? Who knows?
Yeah. No, I know.
Brett Gardner. I don't know. Do we need him for another outfielder? If Greg Allen's a AAA, or if he's just a AAA player, or even if he's just there for defense and speed, if you need to steal a couple bases here and there. But I mean, his best year was in 2019 with the Indians, because we saw him play a little bit. I think in the ALDS. Was that in
listen, maybe. But looking at Greg Allen's career stats, the dude looks like he's a quadruple A player. He can't hit air out of a plastic bag, if you want to call it that. But definitely, I don't think that he's any sort of significant contribution to the Yankees, unless this is like a crazy ass like Mike Talkman deal where they trade for this dude and then all of a sudden he's a monster hitter. You don't know with the Yankees. He's either going to be completely trash or he's going to be a superstar. But I want to look at some of these comments. Michael Johnson, I remember you from the playoff streams, Michael. This is still our division from a Rays fan. Listen, Michael, I don't think so anymore. Now that Snell's gone, now that Morton's gone, I think it's the Yankees division to lose.
And the Blue Jays are on the come up as well. We have to wait.
True. No, the Blue Jays, the Orioles are going to be dangerous.
Watch out for the Orioles as well. They have a loaded farm system coming up in a few years.
You a big Orioles guy?
Am I big? No. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, obviously, but the Orioles, like the Rays have 2 stacked farm systems.
Yeah, no, I know.
They've been building for this. They traded away their whole team.
Yeah, give the Orioles like 5 years, and maybe they'll be decent.
Yeah.
But they need all their prospects to turn out. That's really the key. Yeah. I mean, who was that? The one Mountcastle. He destroyed us all of last year. Yeah. Absolute tank.
And then don't forget Mancini's coming back too from his cancer.
He had cancer, right? Yeah. Brutal. What is up, Futai? How we doing tonight? Actually, let me do a little attendance before we mention Futai's comment. Shout out LA Yankee King. Shout out George. Shout out Nick. Shout out Jake. Shout out Futai. What up, Pat? Yankees most thing, we have a great rotation. We talk about this every night, and it's a shame because no matter what we say, the Yankees still haven't upgraded their rotation. They'll trade for the 7th outfielder, and I don't know. Like, there's no other way of putting it. They need starting pitching, and they haven't acquired one starting pitcher yet this offseason. Yeah. It makes me want to cry. Makes me feel pain.
Wait, but, we did have Yankee news. Remember, was it yesterday or today in the group chat with the Yanks being in wait and now mode for LeMahieu, whatever that is?
Oh, I thought that was like old news already.
I don't know. Was that yesterday or was that today? Because I remember in the chat.
Well, I remember that. I mean, I feel like we've heard this for a week that like LeMahieu is their main priority, and they don't want to make any other moves until they know his decision. So I have no idea as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But awesome. Yo, Nick, I don't know if you remember, but on our Twitch stream last night, you asked me my favorite color, and I said some days it's pink, and I'm gonna wear my pink shirt tomorrow on live. Here's my pink shirt. The camera kind of fucks it up. It's like more of a bright pink, but you get the vibe. Thank you, George. I appreciate that. Talkman and Andujar trade. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, listen,
Talkman.
Yeah, I could see a Talkman trade. I think an Andujar trade would be more likely. But it would be especially likely if the DH is enacted in the NL permanently, because that would open the door to him being traded to so many other teams. The dude's just not a fielder. I can't see a team trading for him in anticipation he's going to be an everyday fielder. It's just not realistic. Matt, I know very little about Greg Allen. Glad to get some info here, and that perhaps it's less likely that the Yankees. Yeah, I think now it's almost confirmed they're not going to pick up Puig.
Yeah.
Because if they were interested in another outfielder, Greg Allen fills that void.
If they do pick up Puig, what are they doing?
Listen, I said it on the podcast we did about Puig. A lot of stuff would go right in Puig's favor, and a lot of stuff has to go wrong in the Yankees' favor in order for that to happen. They would need like 5 injuries in the outfield. But looking at like Greg Allen's career stats, he played 15 games last season, 1 with San Diego, 15 with Cleveland, and he batted 160. Season before, 2019, he batted 229, 2018, 257. So, I mean, the dude's kind of been regressing. He had a career-high 21 stolen bases in 2018. So maybe the Yankees are hoping he returns to that 2018 form. Because if they could get a fast outfielder who could bat 257 with 21 stolen bases, listen, that might be an aspect of the team that they're missing right now. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going through their head. I wish I could tell you. Let's see. Watch Greg turn into a Gio or Luke player. Yeah, I just said that before. It's definitely possible because I had the same reaction when the Yankees traded for Talkman, when they traded for Voit, when they signed Gio Urshela. I had that same reaction where like I don't really know much about this guy. I don't think he's too good. But, like, these guys always have a way of surprising us, Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Greg Allen is the greatest player of all time. I guess he's a Greg Allen guy.
I don't know.
Let's see. Nick, we signed/trade for everyone, but no re-signing of DJ. Anthony, you think they're going to re-sign DJ?
I hope.
Deep down in your gut, what is it telling you?
When the season ended, I was 100% sure he's going to be back.
Same.
But now it's dwindling each day. I mean, I don't want to say he's leaving because, I mean, I think he'd only leave if he's getting really upset with the Yankees.
Yeah, no.
That's the only reason I think he would leave. But I think he wants to stay. Like, I don't think he wants to go to like a Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, the Dodgers possibly, but where is he going to play?
Yeah, listen, the fact that the Dodgers are in on all these free agents, they just signed Trinan last night. 2 years, $17.5 million, and that's with another option too. Look, the Dodgers, they're not being complacent. They won a title last year. They clearly still want to go for more. So shout out to the Dodgers too.
The only way I could see LeMay to the Dodgers is if they don't want to resign Seager next year.
Yeah, I mean it's an option, but I think if I'm the Dodgers and I'm picking either Seager or LeMahieu, I'm probably going with Seager only because what they did for him in the playoffs last year.
Younger as well.
Yeah. Let's see.
They need pitching help. They should focus on their pitching.
We got 2 comments. Real men wear pink. I agree with that fact, 1,000%, bro. Pink is a solid ass clothing color. He was drafted by the Indians. Yeah, Greg Allen, Indian superstar. He might go in the Indians Hall of Fame. Just might. Absolute unit, best player of all time. Ryan knows all about that. Let's see. Maybe Yankees can trade Gary Sanchez to the Nationals, and maybe Sanchez with Gomes can help him because Gomes is a great defensive catcher. LA Yankee King.
Wait, so we wouldn't get Gomes? You would just go there and help him out?
Listen,
how's that benefiting us?
I do not see a scenario where Gary Sanchez gets traded at all, especially to the Nationals, and the Yankees wouldn't even get Gomes in return. Listen, that's just not happening.
I mean, I'm down. If he's talking about like veteran helping a young player, we bring in Yadier Molina. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I mean. I had that argument a lot, like in the beginning of the offseason. I was like, look,
I'm all for that.
Yeah, because there were rumors that the Yankees were linked to Yadier Molina. And I made the argument. I'm like, look, because they were linked to Molina and James McCann. So you made the argument, if you go for James McCann, you give up on Gary because James McCann's going to start. If you go after Yadi, I think that's a very huge help for Gary Sanchez. That's one of the best defensive catchers.
I think for the pitching staff as well, having
for sure
a presence like him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing there is what do you do with Higashioka?
That's
because I think at this point, I think he's kind of earned his right as the Yankees backup catcher, especially because of the relationship with Cole. You know that they work great together. So I think, look, going into 2020, I was super hesitant on Kyle Higashioka. I didn't really know what to expect out of him, only because he's been up and down so long and we never got serious contribution out of him. But he really blew past my expectations in 2020.
And then also, I think with Gary, I don't know if we're forgetting with Anthony Siegler coming up.
Yeah, no, I know.
And then isn't Austin Wells a catcher and a first baseman as well? So that's 2 first-round picks that are catchers.
Yeah. I think Austin Wells they drafted out of college too, so he might be up even before Seager will. Because I think Siegler was drafted out of high school. If I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, he was 2019, right?
I believe so, yeah.
He was.
If you think for a second that Patino, McKay, McClanahan, Honeywell, and Joe Ross aren't more than ready to step in for Snell Moore and Yellen for a rude awakening, look, Michael, I'm not going to deny the fact that the Rays have an absolute pitching factory. These dudes just pump out pitching talent like it's nobody's business. Mm-hmm. But to say all those guys are absolute guarantees in the major leagues, listen, you know what happens to baseball. These guys are absolute phenoms in the minor leagues, and they come to the major leagues. You don't know what to expect. So, yeah, it's completely possible that all these dudes come up and replace Snell and Morton and become superstars. Yeah, it's definitely possible. But it's no guarantee like Snell and Morton are. I think that's just what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if the Rays are still the favorites. They're definitely going to put up a huge fight with the Yankees all off season. I mean, all during the season. But, yeah, it's going to be a close race.
Hasn't Honeywell had Tommy John like twice already? Or might have.
I'm not too sure. I don't really know about his injury.
Also, I think the deadline for Tomoyaki Sugano to sign is coming up.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
I think the Blue Jays have the best offer on him so far.
Do they?
I think so. I saw. I think was it Joel Sherman said something about the Blue Jays have like one of the best. But if not, I think he's going back to Japan like Tanaka.
Yeah, he might just go back to Japan. It's possible. But George, how true is the rumor I'm hearing the Jays and Mets are leading in trades to get Lindor? Listen, I don't know. If I had to make a decision, gun to my head right now, if Lindor is going to be traded this offseason, I'm going to say no. What do you think?
I think it depends how free agency falls.
Yeah, I mean that's realistic. Listen, it's going to be tough because next offseason is going to be a very crowded shortstop free agency market. And that's going to hurt them all a bunch because their value is going to be a little bit diminished. So listen, I don't know if Lindor kind of wants to capitalize now and maybe ask for a trade with an extension, capitalize on the weak free agent market now, because a team like the Mets, for example, they would trade for Lindor and pay him big bucks this offseason. And he doesn't really know what he's going to get next offseason. So listen, I don't know. We could see where that goes. If he does turn into a great player, then we are the hitting version of the Rays, where players aren't known turn great. Yes. I agree. I just wish the Yankees could do that with pitching sometimes. Like they never seem to do it with pitchers. Anytime we get a random player who turns out good, it's always a hitter. I'd like a pitcher to do that for us.
Never. Lance Lynn and Sonny Gray, now two All-Stars in two separate teams, could have been for us.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what? I understand, like, maybe the Larry Rothschild effect. So maybe we'll see with Matt Blake if that trend continues.
But now, if we're talking about Rothschild, he's in San Diego. If he makes Snell and them better, was it a mistake for Rothschild?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if Clevenger, Darvish, and Snell don't fall apart in San Diego, I think we might have to be looking at the organization and stop blaming Larry Rothschild for the Yankees pitching woes for the past 10 years or however long he's been pitching.
They have to have the Padres have to have a lot of trust in Rothschild to bring those two pitchers in.
I agree. Ryan. Oh, Ryan's taking shots at Michael. Michael, buddy, he called you buddy. Those are fighting words where I'm from. Love the Rays analytics, but Rays, McKay, season starts in May, Yankees in 5, bro. Listen, I'm going to leave it at that. Would you prefer to sign DJ and keep Torres at shortstop or throw the same money at Real Muto and shop Sanchez and Andujar for pitching? I kind of forgot Real Muto was still a free agent. I have not heard anything about him, and I thought the market was going to be hot for him, but I guess not. Listen, I think keep Gleyber at shortstop for another year. Might be a mistake, but I think I'd give him one more year short. Listen, last season was his first full year at shortstop. It's not an easy position to play. He was obviously going to have growing pains. So listen, if this season, if they let him play shortstop, which I think they will, and he still sucks, then I think you think about moving him and then getting an actual shortstop.
If he would have added, like, maybe sign Andrelton Simmons to 1 year deal and rotate them at DH, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's possible.
Simmons, because Simeon and Didi are not going to want 1 year deals.
Yeah,
Simmons would go for it.
And while recaps, shout out Derek. Derek's in the chat. Let's go, Derek. Cash got a bet to flip him from Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Bro, I could definitely see that happening. Maybe if it was like 2016. 2016 Cashman was elite.
I was gonna say, what would have happened if we got Ohtani if he didn't crap out last second and say New York was too much for him?
Listen, if he came to New York, the Yankees would have never gotten Stanton.
True.
So it depends which way you want to go. You're either getting Ohtani or Stanton, to be honest. And also, if Stan didn't fall into the Yankees' lap, this is a completely hypothetical scenario, but I think they would have been heavy in the market for Harper. I really do. Because I think Stan kind of prevented them from getting Harper. We knew they were interested in Harper for a long time before, but once they got Stan, that kind of shut it down completely. Futai had to drop in, see what these guys were saying. I honestly don't know shit about Greg Allen. I don't think anyone does. This is like your typical Luke Voit kind of deal when he first came to the Yankees. I had no idea Luke Voit even existed. To be quite honest with you, I did not know the man existed. But yeah, listen, I just hope Greg Allen turns into a beast. As Ryan said, greatest of all time.
Going back to the Luke Voit trade, Giovanni Gallegos is now one of the top relievers. In the league. So that's I don't know how other teams turn our pitchers into stars. It's something.
I mean, listen, in his defense, he was always an awesome pitcher in the Yankees minor league system.
Yeah.
I believe he was a dominant closer for Scranton in like 2015, 2016 maybe. I know he came up with the Yankees and had a little stint in the big leagues, wasn't that good, but it was such a short sample
He was
size.
like the Luis Sessa at the time. Would come in
Yeah, I
with
mean, yeah,
things and
I think he was a little bit more hyped than Sessa though.
no, yeah, because he was a like you said, AAA. He was beasting.
Yeah,
That's
he was
why.
he was their closer. Is Brett Gardner staying? Pete, I hope not. I hope not. That's all I'm gonna say.
If he wants to sign a 1-day contract and retire as a Yankee, by all means.
You know, it's kind of sick because, like, I don't know if everyone on the Unhinged team didn't like Brett Gardner once they joined, but I feel like I have molded everybody to be so anti Brett Gardner. It's not even funny. Like, I don't think there's one member of our team who's a Brett Gardner guy.
I liked him back when he had 20 home runs a season. But now, if he signs a 1-day contract and then retires, I'm fine with that.
Bro, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Colors, and then that's it.
I respect what he's done for the Yankees. I think he's been durable, consistent. He's been a great Yankee, but I think his time was up 5 years ago. I think his stay is super overwelcomed. Clint Frazier should have been the starting left fielder for the Yankees for about 3 years already. And I think it's a shame that he keeps being blocked by Brett Gardner. So listen, Brett, if you are going to come back, it needs to be a bench role, 100%, because Clint Frazier needs to be the Yankees starting left fielder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we stress enough how underrated Clint Frazier is. When he's on, he's one of the top hitters in baseball. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he's your 8 or 9 hitter, potentially, it says a lot. So Brett Gardner, fuck off. No, I'm sorry, Brett. That wasn't nice. But you know what I mean. Michael Johnston. There's no such thing as a short thing pitching prospect. See Manny Benuelos, Rick Ankiel, or Brian Taylor is a fact. Pitching prospects are the most sketchy of prospects. You never know what's going to happen. I don't wish injuries upon anybody, but injuries are frequently common, especially with, like, remember who's that guy who was number one? Was it Brady Aiken?
Yes.
Brady Aiken. Bro, that kid was supposed to be the next Steven Strasburg.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened. So listen, I never like to jump too far ahead with prospects, especially the way I look at Jason Dominguez too. I mean, I'm not one to be negative about Dominguez, but I'm not one to say, bro, this kid's an absolute tank. He's going to be a next Mike Trout. No, we haven't seen him play a professional game. Relax. Let's wait and see what he can become. I think Bauer to San Diego. I thought that too, Anthony, before they got Snell and Darvish.
I would have said that before Snell and Darvish as well.
Yeah, I think
unless they want to do that. That's
listen, it's doubtful, highly doubtful. I think a team more like the Angels or Blue Jays are going to make sense for Bauer. I think he's going to go to a really random team.
I think the Dodgers are panicking right now, and they're going to panic sign him.
You think?
I think. Their rotation after Buehler with Kershaw's injuries, it's nothing.
You know, they do have Dustin May.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They do. I mean, he shows a lot of potential for sure, but didn't they play him as more of a reliever in the postseason?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because they also got Urias too. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm not sure what roles they're going to be using these guys in moving forward. But you got a guy like Trevor Bauer. The only thing I could kind of compare that to is, like, I think it was the 2014 Tigers when they just had Cy Young winner after Cy Young winner in that rotation, but they got eliminated in the first round against the Orioles. So that's why you got to love baseball. Even if you have the most stacked team in history, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win a title. Let's see. Simmons is so much better than Didi. Didi can play defense, Yankee King. I literally sent you a screenshot of Didi's defensive stats. I agree. I viewed Didi Gregorius in the same light I view Brett Gardner. I respect their time with the Yankees, but I think it's done. I think that ship has sailed. Didi Gregorius was a great Yankee, but I don't see a scenario where they should bring him back. Let's see. I'm from Ohio, and Greg Allen isn't that good. I'm not too sure what you being from Ohio has to do with that, but maybe you know Greg Allen personally. Is that where we're going here? Hey guys,
there's 2 teams in Ohio. You got Cincinnati and you got
Cleveland. That's true. So if I had to go with one of the Cincinnati teams, bro, Reds all day.
Yeah.
I was really rooting for the Reds.
One of the Ohio teams.
What are they?
No, because you're saying one of the Cincinnati teams is only one.
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati.
Oh, I said one of the Cincinnati. Yeah. I meant one of
Also,
the
it's not the Indians.
Ohio.
It's the Cleveland baseball team. We got to do
That's
that.
right. I asked the chat that question before, and I forgot who said it. I think it was George maybe, but apparently they're not changing their name until they have one in place already.
Yeah.
Okay, so this season so far, they're still going to be the Indians.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Unless they want to do it before like a drastic change before the season starts, and they have it already like planned out.
Listen,
I don't know.
I think that makes the most sense, so they don't have to go the Redskins route and just be like the Cleveland baseball team, because I think that's so stupid. Like, just bro, you've had the name for like 100 years. You could stick it out for another year until you actually have a plan in place.
I don't know what they'd be called. I mean, I heard the Spiders because that was their old name.
I heard the Rockers because they have like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's options. Maybe. Hey guys, sorry I'm late to the party. What do you think about DJ going to the Dodgers? I would probably cry.
Yeah,
it would probably be tears.
I think I would cry more if it was to the Mets.
Oh, bro, if he went to the Mets, I'd probably shoot myself.
If Steve Cohen called them and was like, "Come to the other side." Done.
Anthony, you're gonna make me cry on stream.
If it's LeMahieu and Bauer, even worse.
Listen, if DJ LeMahieu signs with the Mets, I will come on stream and we'll just have like a therapy session. Everyone in the chat will just have therapy.
No, Robbie Cano is suspended, but you got McNeil. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen.
Let's just not speak it into existence, please. Let's see. Since we need bullpen help, could there be talks of Yankees getting Robertson or Shreve back? I think Robertson is a possibility. I'm not too sure about
the Mets, so that's not going to happen.
He's not a free agent?
I think he signed a minor league spring training invitation with the Mets.
Got you. So, I mean, listen, I think the Yankees were linked to Robertson a little while back. I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, he didn't pitch last year. I don't know if he pitched in 2019 either.
No, yeah, he was injured. He was at the Phillies.
Yeah, so he hasn't really pitched the past 2 seasons. I don't know what you're going to get out of him. If you could sign him to like a $3 million deal, see what you could get out of him in spring training, maybe. But my hopes wouldn't be too high for Robertson right now. I think
it's like the same thing with Gardner. His time has passed.
Yeah, like Yankee King said, I love Gardy, but he needs to retire.
Listen,
it pisses me off when I hear him say, I wish I could retire in front of the fans. I think that's really selfish. I don't know if that's just me. I understand how when he plays his entire career with the Yankees, he might want a good farewell. But listen, bro, I mean, you coming back to play another season just so you could have a little retirement party on the field, that pisses me off.
I don't think it would be as hype as a CC or Jeter.
It definitely wouldn't be. CC Sabathia's time with the Yankees was tremendous. He single-handedly practically brought the Yankees a World Series trophy, and the fans love CC Sabathia. I think that Brett Gardner might get a solid-ass ovation only because once people in the crowd see a few people doing it, everyone will do it because mob mentality. But I don't think there's a lot of people out there who would live and die by Brett Gardner, especially at this point in his career. I agree not to bring Gardner back to open the 4th outfield spot for Talkman, but I hope he's a constant presence with the clubs for as many years as he wants. Special instructor in spring training, maybe a front office role. He's a guts and grits guy, and his greatest impact is on other guys' approach to the game. Yeah, I mean, listen, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. I just don't want to see him on the field anymore. First pitch swinging, popping up to the third base. I don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see. Allen used to play with the Indians. He was part of the Clevenger trade. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Should they bring in Kyle Schwarber from the Cubbies as a left-handed power hitter in the lineup? I'm gonna say the odds of that now after Greg Allen are extremely small.
Unless they want to work Schwarber back to being a catcher.
No, there's no way in hell. Because if Yankee fans complain about Gary Sanchez behind the plate, could you imagine how bad Schwarber would be? I mean, that would be an absolute shit show. I don't think Schwarber has caught in 5 years?
I want to say more. Yeah.
I mean, bro, that would just be a complete disaster.
Listen, when I bring him in for like a Chris Carter role,
listen,
just hit home runs.
Chris Carter couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
But knowing the Yankees, they'd take Kyle Schwarber and stick him in like center field, pull like a Miguel Andujar, be like, look, try it out, see if you can play there.
He's not a center fielder. No.
He's built like one.
Yeah.
He's built like a tight end.
Yeah. No, he is big.
Let's see. Do you think if Lindor doesn't get traded, next year's free agency will be a lot faster than this offseason? I think next year's free agency is going to be a lot faster than this offseason, regardless of whether or not Lindor gets traded, only because the market is going to have so many top guys. And also because I'm assuming there's going to be fans back in the crowd next season, so teams are going to have a lot more money to spend. That's really the delay. Teams don't want to spend their money, A, because they lost a lot this past season with no fans in the crowd, and B, they're nervous that they won't have fans in the crowd next season and they're going to lose even more money.
Yeah.
So that's what the holdup is right now. Next offseason, I think it's going to be just a whole seller spree.
Yeah. With the real winter meetings, hopefully with actual movement.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Bro, this year's winter meetings were apparently virtual. I don't know how that goes, but clearly nothing got done.
When that happens, I'm always glued to MLB Network, just watching.
Bro, same.
Always.
Bro, and it's a shame because the past couple, actually every offseason, I usually watch MLB Network like 24/7, like just monitoring like all the rumors because I love that shit. I used to watch Hot Stove every morning, Matt Vasgersian, Harold Reynolds. I haven't watched it once this offseason. No. I really have not once. No. Just because there's nothing going on.
I think spring training is in a month, right?
Pitchers and catchers report like mid-February, yeah.
Yeah, so this market's gonna get moving faster. There's still most of the free agents left. Legit, most of the class.
I could see honestly, I could see a guy like Bauer not signing until like February, pulling a Harper.
I think this is might be the case. I think they're waiting for LeMahieu to fall first, and then all hell's gonna break loose.
Yeah, no, I mean the same could be even said with Bauer. Once Bauer signs, we just need one of these big free agents to fall. Even a guy like Real Muto. Once one of these big guys fall, I think it's just gonna be a domino effect.
I thought with the trades it would make a big thing, but no, nothing. Just the Padres moves. It's okay.
Yo, shout out San Diego, bro.
The Padres San Diego and the Padres have people working, not the other teams in their offices. It's okay,
bro. They look like San Diego looks awesome. I remember like when they showed like you know how like during the postseason games they showed like outside the stadium and like, bro, I want to live in San Diego. It looks so nice. The stadium, bro, even their team at this point, San Diego Padres are the place to be. If I'm a free agent, I'm signing in San Diego, regardless of what they're paying me.
Over the Mets or the Dodgers?
Easily, bro. Only because I would want to live in San Diego.
Yeah.
Just looks like a nice ass city. Like, bro, and the weather's nice all the time. Like, I don't know. If I'm a free agent, I don't want to live in Queens because I live in Queens right now, and I wouldn't suggest people moving here. Just saying.
I think San Diego is going to be that as long as that core's together.
Oh yeah. Machado looks like a genius right now.
Oh, he was the first one to go there.
Yeah. Wait, or was Hosmer the first one?
Hosmer was the year before, but Hosmer, they kind of thought it was like a low-key signing because Hosmer was the last top free agent to sign in that class.
Yeah, you know.
I can't get anything. I'm just gonna go here. Like.
Yeah, Hosmer. Was that after 2015 or 2016?
Hosmer left the Royals
after 2015, I believe. After they won the World Series, I think.
He's been there 5 years already.
I think so. Yeah, I feel like. Let me look. I mean, because it's definitely either after 2015 or 2016. But I'm leaning towards after they won the World Series in 2015.
When did Will Myers get traded there?
Actually, he signed with San Diego after 2017.
Yeah, I was about to say. And then didn't Will Myers get traded? No, Will Myers
was like 2015, 2014.
Yeah, he was the first player to go there. I was about to say.
Yeah, but I mean, it was kind of like against his will, but you know. He got traded there after 2014. So 2015 was
what if the Rays kept him? Oof.
I mean, who'd they even get in return for Myers?
James
I don't even remember. Oh, that's right. Yeah, bad trade. Let's see. Where were we? Shreve is still available. I really like him on cheap. Shreve is still available.
Really?
Listen, I don't know if the Yankees would want him back, but I wouldn't hate him for cheap, to be honest. Imagine Liam Hendricks as a Yankee. I would love Liam Hendricks, bro.
That'd be funny. With Judge hitting the home run off him in the AL wildcard game, and now he's back and now he's a Yankee.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He was the opener, right?
He was, yeah. He was their best reliever, and then Judge hit that home run. They're like, oh, maybe not.
He's Australian, right?
I want to say, yeah, he has an accent.
I want to say he's Australian. I mean, that would be solid. Having an Australian guy on the team, bro, that's fire.
He brings a different fire to a team. I think.
Yeah, no, he's awesome.
Definitely make that bullpen much better.
Anthony says, sign Archie Bradley, Corey Kluber, another starting pitcher, Simmons, and Silent Door next year. Anthony, you're asking for a lot. I would do all those things that you said.
Kluber is scheduled to throw next week, so let's see what happens.
I love Kluber. I really want Kluber. I would love Kluber in the Bronx.
Because Matt Blake's his old pitching coach.
And also because, bro, I think Kluber has some left in the tank.
I'm down for Kluber. Yeah, I mean, that's a high low reward, high upside.
Yeah, low risk, high reward.
Low risk, high reward.
Yeah. Greg Allen is really for outfield depth. They got Brito and Allen. Who's next? Bro, I mean, I forgot about Socrates Brito. What are they doing? Maybe I think you know what I think they're concerned about? I think
are they just stacking up the minors because they lost so many players from COVID?
I mean, that could be part of it, but I think they're mostly terrified of the lack of durability in their outfield, especially with Aaron Judge going down every season, Aaron Hicks going down every season, Mike Tauchman being absolute awful last year, Esteban Florial not living up to his potential. So I think the Yankees are a little bit on edge.
Replacements. They're like...
No, but I think they view them as depth. So
yeah, for sure, depth, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, the fact if Hicks goes down, and then Mike Tauchman becomes your everyday center fielder, for example, then you use Greg Allen to replace Tauchman on the bench.
There's also they're probably not sold on Florial anytime soon.
No, definitely not. Definitely. I mean, they were sold on him at one time, but bro, he was awful in the major leagues last year. Putrid. Let's see. Maybe sign Molina so we could try to mold Sanchez into a better catcher. Yeah, we touched on that before. I agree 1,000%.
By all means.
Yankees won't sign anyone next offseason during free agent clause.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah. Let's see. They need Archie. I would love Archie Bradley too. I really would.
He posted him in a Yankees jersey a few weeks ago.
On the boat, right?
On the boat.
I remember seeing that.
And he's got to shave his long beard.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I think he would be down for it if he was rocking a Yankee jersey.
Garrett Cole did it. So.
That's true. I mean, listen, I know I say this all the time, but I don't think there was anything wrong with Garrett Cole's beard. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just because I'm young. I don't know. Like, bro, he looked fine. He's Australian. That's a quality aspect of Liam Hendricks. Kluber has never relied on velocity, always been a control pitcher. So as long as he's sitting 91, 93, it'll be nice. I agree. If Corey Kluber has his stuff, I think he has potential to be a solid 2-3 at worst in that Yankees rotation. It would be clutch. So if we're thinking of it in a broad sense here, if we trade for Kyle Hendricks, and then sign Corey Kluber or Masahiro Tanaka, because I put those two guys in the same class, I think this rotation is going to be solid going into next season. Yeah. The fact now is just we lack any sort of consistent starts right now.
Okay. Besides Garrett Cole.
Yeah, besides Cole, it's just question mark. It's 4 question marks after Garrett Cole.
Kluber, Hendricks. I mean, I heard the Angels are interested in trading for Contreras, so I guess the Cubs are still selling per se.
Yeah, no, I think at this point they're going all out. I mean, you have no choice. You already traded Darvish. You let go of Schwarber. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe even see like a Brian or Rizzo deal. That might shock people because I know Brian.
Maybe Baez, but yeah, I think they want him back. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and also Baez is coming off an awful season. Same thing as Bryant. So I don't know if they'd sell really low on those guys just yet, but I don't know. Greatest all-time Aussie Yankee, Graham Lloyd. I don't know who was in the stream that night, but there was one night we were on stream and we were watching the best Yankees brawls of all time. And I was watching, I think it was like 96 or something, Orioles versus Yankees brawl. Graham Lloyd pops up out of nowhere and he's just throwing hands at the Orioles. I've never seen worse coordination in my life. He was just flailing his arms around like a wet pig. Okay. But that's a story for another day. Have y'all seen what Hicks looks like now? Are you saying that he's jacked? Because Hicks gets absolutely jacked every offseason.
Yeah.
Like every offseason, we get pictures of Aaron Hicks, and the dude looks like Barry Bonds. You remember? I think it was like 2 years ago. There was a picture of him like lifting weights in the gym. The dude like was massive.
That
And
was
then on the field,
too.
yeah.
Both of them.
Let's see. We got a lot of comments. What's the word on Mike Ford? I don't know. Listen, he'll be on the Yankees bench next year, I'm assuming. I don't think him being so bad in 2020 really reflects who he is. I think we have to view all these guys who had down 2020s as just, bro, it's such a small sample size. We're not even talking half of a real season. So I'm not. Same thing with Gary Sanchez. That's why when I made the video about Sanchez, I didn't knock him too much. Only because this was very new for these guys. So listen, if Mike Ford sucks again next season, then maybe we can knock him. But for now, I'm still having faith in Ford. I think he's a good hitter, and he provides a big lefty bat to the Yankees bench.
And then who's your backup first baseman if Ford goes down?
Exactly. I mean, possibly. Yeah, probably, because then you would probably move LeMahieu to first and then Tyler Wade at at second base, which is let's see. They need back Didi. No, not a Didi guy. No. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Archie Bunker. Only players Yankees need to sign. They would hit bombs. I'm not too sure who Archie Bunker is, though.
No.
Not too sure who that is.
Stallone.
Paxton might still have stuff in the tank. If we're taking a flyer on either Kluber or Paxton, I'm taking Kluber.
Yeah.
Any day of the week. I'm assuming they're going to cost around the same amount of money, too.
Paxton, we traded Justice Sheffield, who's doing good on the Mariners as well right now. Who could have been a piece for us, but it's too late now.
George, go do what you got to do, George. All you. Okay, Bruce. Bruce, definitely don't kill yourself. Do not call Cashman and tell him you're gonna kill yourself. That's nope. Do not approve of that. Severino coming back by August. Hopefully. That's the hope. You don't know what you're gonna get out of him once he does come back. When guys come back from Tommy John, they're usually not the same right away. So listen, if he could be decent for the postseason, I think that's all the Yankees could ask for at this point. Let's see. Tyone and Kluber is an offseason I could get behind for pitching. What happened to Joe Musgrove, Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
What happened to Musgrove? I thought you were a Musgrove guy.
Yeah.
I would like Joe Musgrove. Wouldn't be opposed to it.
It depends what we give up for him, but we've dealt with the Pirates before.
Yeah. Hicks sounds like such a chill guy. Like he's the type of dude to pump some iron with a gold chain on.
He does.
That's the definition of Aaron Hicks. Also, I don't know if do you remember this when I got an ad on my Instagram a while ago, and it was Jason Bartlett. Okay. And I put in the chat that I think this dude low-key looks a little bit like Aaron Hicks, and everybody thought I was crazy. Do you remember that, Anthony?
I want to say, yeah. Was it on Instagram?
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to pull this up right now, and I want the chat to tell me if they see any sort of comparison between Jason Bartlett and Aaron Hicks.
Okay, I remember.
Okay.
Yes.
We're literally going to sit here right now and act like this dude has zero Aaron Hicks resemblance. Because when I put this in the chat like a month ago, I got absolutely flamed. Pat, you have no idea what you're talking about. That looks nothing like Aaron Hicks. He low-key looks a little bit like Aaron Hicks. Are you going to call me crazy too?
No, I mean...
You see it a little bit.
I got to see it with his hat off.
I don't know if I can find any pictures of his hat off. But moral of the story, I think that Jason Bartlett and Aaron Hicks look a little bit alike. People think I'm crazy. Chat, let me know if they look a little bit alike. I've essentially made the same comment the last 3 times I've been able to log in, which I really enjoyed doing, so thank you. But if I was Cashman, I'd really be evaluating what kind of deal they could bring Tanaka back on for 1 to 2 years and high incentives on Kluber on a prove-it deal again, with big incentive bumps. I think Matt said that perfectly. Both of those guys I'd take on 1 to 2 year deals, big incentives. I wouldn't really take a huge long-term risk on either of them for a lot of money. I wouldn't. But I think you can't go wrong with a 1 to 2 year deal.
No.
Except if it's J-Hap, because that was an awful deal.
I think Tanaka, yeah, because I mean his UCL is still partially torn. Any day that elbow can just give out.
Yeah,
and you're in a whole nother problem with Tommy John with him.
yeah. Would y'all be good with signing Keone Kela?
No, too many issues.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I mean, I know I was watching LB Network and they're talking about Kiela. I mean, he's good, but he's had too many like clubhouse issues with players.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bro, the Pirates just have nothing but
Vasquez and now him. Yeah.
Bro, Jesus.
I mean, he's a good player, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to bring in someone that's gonna be a distraction. I don't think you want that for a young team.
Yeah. Let's get hashtag shut up Brandon to hack Hal and Cashman's brain to start making good moves. We gotta get Britton on that. I'll actually text him right now, Nick. Don't worry. Let's see. They look the same to me. Thank you, Futai. Thank you. I mean, bro, like the chat was talking to me like I was crazy. Like I had 15 heads. If we got a more recent picture of Jason Bartlett, I swear he looks even more like Aaron Hicks. I think that it's just a matter of time that George Springer will become a Met.
Agreed.
I think so too.
Unless the Blue Jays swoop in.
But you know who? I think there was rumors of him a while ago. But do you know who I think would be the most typical Met center fielder? Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah, you said that.
I could definitely see a move like that being made, 100%, especially if they miss out on Springer.
Yeah.
Keller is a W idea to sign. Isaac, I like the way you think. Listen, if he could fix himself up, maybe.
I mean, maybe Ryan knows more about him than I do, but I just heard, that he would. They were saying that he's just a lot of just off field because I think he had a DUI.
Gotcha.
A few years past, I don't know if I'm maybe to have someone else on the Pirates, but I mean, if he can get his stuff together, sure. Chapman did.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, maybe Chapman could have a little talk with Herman, maybe knock some sense into him. But
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I believe that's gonna wrap things up for us tonight. However, I will be live on Twitch as usual. Probably around like 10 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna put the Twitch link in the chat. Be sure to go follow that. We play all bunch of stuff on there. So listen, if you're bored tonight and you want to come hang out, do that. Appreciate all you guys for sticking around every single night. Really do appreciate you all. Hope we could provide you guys a little break tonight and from all the craziness going on in the world. Hope we could be a little escape for you. Yeah, that's gonna wrap things up. I'm trying to figure out what I want to end the stream with tonight. I think we're going to play a little song by our boy Brian to pump things up. But yeah, we're going to be live on Twitch. Well, I'll be live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Unhinged New York, fairly soon. So go follow that so you get a notification when I do go live. Appreciate you all. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Have a good night. Enjoy.